Good morning, people. How we all doing today? Trust we had a beautiful night's sleep. Trust we're ready to close the week on a high note. On Monday, we spoke about mindset shift from from scarcity to abundance. Today, I would like to talk about delegation for growth within your organization and within your business. Delegation, yes, it's very, very crucial because one of the things that most solopreneurs and entrepreneurs do is thinking by doing these things themselves makes things go faster. But you may do those tasks and you may end up getting it done, but it does not mean that you are more efficient, because the more tasks you put on yourself, the more pressure you put on yourself and the more inefficient your organization is. When you have a team, it's important to delegate properly and to allow your team to take on responsibility too. So I'm going to go through about 7 points that we need to always ponder on when we're thinking of scaling up our businesses. Okay? First point is, first you need to understand the cost of not delegating. Yes, very, very crucial. Because failing to delegate, most times, will put too much on your plate. And it also deprives your team from that growth that they should grow, from understanding and learning from the delegation and the responsibility you give them. So it's very, very, very important that we understand the cost of delegation to our business. I always tell people, how do you value cost of delegation? One of the most important things you need to look at is, what are those tasks that is repeated within your organization that you constantly have to do all the time? Those kind of tasks you can train somebody to do it, and then you can allow them to do it. Give them that responsibility to own that task. Those tasks that you do once a while, it might not be worth it, because by the time you train the person, the task is over. So it might not be worth it for you. But the tasks that you constantly do every day, all the time, those are tasks that you actually want to delegate. Okay? So it's most important is that you understand the cost, what that will take, because when you take away those rudimentary tasks that you constantly have to do, look at how much time you've opened up for yourself to do the think work, which is what the entrepreneur's job is, to guide your organization, which is what the work of an entrepreneur is. Okay? Next one is in your communication. You must be very clear in your communications within your team. Goals and objectives must be clearly defined. So you're leaving nobody to start second guessing or to be guessing what you want them to achieve, because everything is clearly defined. So like I said, clarity in your communication is very crucial when you want to start or when you want to implement a delegation system within your organization. Another important thing is, do not hand down a task list to people. Actually give people the responsibility and allow them to take ownership of those responsibilities. What this does is it enables them to solve the problems on their own way. It enables them to feel proud of their achievement, and it enables them to grow when they fail. So you have to give people the responsibility to take them, but don't give them tasks. Because when you hand down tasks to people, it's a different mindset shift. Do this. It's different from when you actually hand them down those particular responsibilities. Hey, this is you are responsible. You are the responsible officer within our organization for this. When you give somebody such responsibility and trust, you'll find out that those people will constantly be looking for ways to enhance that responsibility, either to make their job better, easier, or actually to impress you. Whatever it is, your business benefits. So it's important that when you're delegating to people, give them that responsibility. Don't hand them down the task list. Okay? Another important one is, try and build that delegation culture across board. Yes, across board. Don't let it stop. Don't let the bulk of the work stop with you alone. So you are the only one that delegates. No. Encourage the reports to delegate to their reports. So the same way you have built up a report that you delegate and give your report responsibility, encourage that within your organization. So let the manager make sure that not all the tasks that you have given to them is done by them. They can delegate some too to the supervisor, and likewise down the lane. What this does is actually enables and helps your team across board to learn responsibility, and to start growing in ways where they can improve themselves. Okay, so it's very important that you don't let the bulk of delegation system stop from you to your report, but you go downstream. Let it be a system that you implement. So the same way you make sure that everything I've mentioned above, you make sure that it's clear to your report. Let your report make sure it's clear to his own report or our own report. Okay? Another important one is make sure you align the responsibility you give to whoever you're delegating to. Let it align with their personal goals. Yes, that helps them to be motivated. That helps them to do more research on how to get things, done better and smarter. And like I said, all this ultimately help your business. Okay, so make sure you're not giving task somebody that doesn't like something or is not aspiring towards that thing. You go and give them a task that should be taking them towards that lane. No, they ain't going to do a good job, because you're giving them a job that is not within their area of strength and is not within their area of interest. I have one of the things I do in my organization is, no matter who you are, within the first month of you joining my organization, because I'm not fully involved in the HR process, except unless when it's we're talking of top management, but even low management, because I am part of the team building exercise every month. And one thing I make sure I do is, when every employee comes in, within the first month of we hiring that employee, I try to have a 30 with them, even if it's just for 30 minutes. And the focus of this 30 is very clear. It's just to understand what their personal goals is all about. So when I'm going to be advising their report, or if they're my report, I make sure that responsibility given to them is in line with their personal goals. Another thing is that most entrepreneurs struggle with is they actually don't know how to delegate. I mentioned that earlier. The easiest way to figure out what to delegate or what task to delegate and how to delegate is take a time diary of all the tasks you do on a daily basis. Okay? In that time diary, write down everything you do on a daily basis. You will find out that there are some tasks that they are constant within your day-to-day engagement. Those are the tasks you want to start with by delegating. Those are the tasks you want to use to free up your time. Because why I say that is because those kind of tasks, when you take time, because there's no delegation without training. You definitely have to train your people. So by the time you put in the training work for them, you have more value of it. But if you go and delegate or train somebody on a task that's just a one-off, by the time you finish training, the task is done. So one important way to find out what to delegate is to actually take that time journal, find out exactly those tasks that you constantly do all the time. And those are the ones that you want to use to free up time for yourself to do more mental and mindset work as an entrepreneur. And last but not the least, when we talk about delegation, is periodic review. Yes, like I said, review comes up in all shades and manner. Periodic review is very, very important. Why so? Because you want to capture their level of improvement. You want to capture what they're doing before it gets too late. And this also brings up not just capturing what they're doing wrong, but you can also be able to see what they're doing well that could be implemented across board. Because like I said, when you put people in areas where it's in line with their personal goals, there's a tendency they do more. There's a tendency they go out of the box to look for solutions to make their work easy. And some of these things can be replicated across all board to even make your business more efficient. So I cannot but emphasize review. Periodic reviews for your delegates is very, 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 very important. Okay, guys, so that's where we're going to stop today. For you to have an effective business, it's important that you introduce delegation system within your organization. Stay blessed. See you on Friday. I'm The Switch.